Doing it, gents. We're going
Let's do it.
live.
You do it. Hit it, Charlie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, mothers and fathers, lock up your daughters. It is Matt and Charlie. Our guest tonight, Rick Ector from Legally Armed in Detroit. So I know we're just getting things kicked off, but the code for tonight, if you want to win the Mantis X10, you have to go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and enter the code LAID, LAID, legally armed in Detroit. You would think, who would have thought that somebody could name their company LAID,
Right.
and people take it seriously? So we've got Rick Ector tonight for the people that are tuning in. Rick Ector's an instructor in Chicago, in Detroit.
In Chicago, oh man, nothing bad.
No.
Nothing bad to say about Chicago, but Chicago is Chicago.
Chicago is Chicago. So
8 Mile.
It is great to have Rick Ector here. We've been friends for a while. I interviewed.
I'm in Vegas, right? I'm in Vegas. Where am I from?
You're from Detroit. I said Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I interviewed you in Chicago. And the story I have that we'll share.
I'm expecting us to just start the show over. You can't just restart a live show, can you?
No, you cannot restart a live show.
You can't tell everyone to log out and then log back in, and we re-cue the credits.
No, not a thing.
Delete the live video off of all the
platforms.
Where's
the music? I'm a little disappointed we don't have some theme music playing.
We should have some theme music.
My entry, my arrival on my debut appearance on the 2 shows, man. You guys are genius. You do 2 shows at the same time.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're rolling it out on as many platforms as we can. You know, we were considering having you come on and slap one of us in the face to get better ratings, but
but Matt doesn't want to go to Las Vegas.
right,
or Chicago,
man,
or Chicago.
Or Chicago, yeah. But it wouldn't be a cool acronym, man. So nah.
True. This is true. So we got Legally Armed in Detroit. Rick Ector. It's great to have you, man. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you.
I know I've made the big time. I'm finally on Meet the Pressers.
I know, right? This is how you know. This is how
I mean, how long have you been doing the show now?
We're in our 3rd year.
Yeah. 3rd year.
Actually
okay, so when I look at the hierarchy of people in this field of endeavor that we reside, man, and I'm like, wow, 3 years. But here's the thing. I'm glad that I have arrived. I have made it to Meet the Pressers, man. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
Matt, we have 57 more minutes of this. I just want you to know, man.
Hey, man, it's fine. We're gonna be laid out all night long.
All night long. Man.
Yeah, you know, and you have 56 and a half more minutes, give or take. But you know, let's have some fun, man. Charlie, since you don't get out much, man, when was the last time I saw you?
So the last time we saw each other was a year ago in Florida, right?
Was Florida the last time I saw you?
Yeah, you didn't come to AmCon in Dallas.
Oh yeah, put it out there. Rick didn't come to AmCon.
Throw him under the bus.
I know, right?
I'm just saying, man.
I have nothing against AmCon. It is a fine group ran by fine people, and they are great persons. And yes. And I didn't make it, but
didn't make it to AmCon. I'm not done, man.
Throw Rick under the bus while you explain how long it's been since I've seen you. Go ahead.
So
ready to back up.
Yeah.
Gun website says no one went to AmCon. To be fair.
Oh no, that's not true. GRPC was virtual, but AmCon was in person. So we were there were less than 80 people, I think, that attended AmCon in Dallas in October. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the one you went from. Isn't that the one you went from USCC Expo over to that? Is that the same one that ran the same time?
It was at the same time. Yeah. So yeah. I didn't go to the USCCA, but I interviewed Amy Lucas, and she was at the USCCA. She came over and did a show with me. So,
Okay.
yeah. So the last time we saw each other was in Florida.
Patrick says hi.
Patrick, what's happening? We saw each other in Florida, and we made a video of a bunch of people getting in our rental car, and then I edited it.
The time lapse thing, yeah.
Yes, so I edited it. So I had all these. I had Cheryl Todd and Amanda Suffolkul and Paul Lathrop, and obviously Rick and Amy Dillon and Dan Wass, Gina Roberts and Shirley Wattrell. I think that was it. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Dan.
Of course
Dan
you did, and yes. That's the faux pas. Never run a name list without the full roster in front of you. Yeah, I'm sure you missed someone. You're telling them they're not important, whoever it is.
I have to say, I'm debating whether I should put this. Oh hell, I'm going to put this comment up. It just doesn't sound right, but it's still kind of neat. He said we should come to the ladies event.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Patrick, you're going to get me in trouble.
So, so last year because of COVID, things were a little messy for Rick. He usually does these in May, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, in previous years, I did it in May, but there was a year going back, at least 2 years ago, we had the, when the pandemic was at its so-called apex, right? And, we had a lot of shutdowns and orders from the governor not to, be outside the house and all of this stuff. And I really, really did not want to cancel the event. So finally, I just decided we're just going to do it. And when we looked at the calendar, it worked out until a date in August. And you know what? That was the most people that we had to attend the event. We had roughly 1,900 and some change. We just called it 2,000, man, that we trained in 2 days. So it was just phenomenal. It was just awesome, man. And no one got sick. We took an abundance of precautions, spacing and
popping into your elbow,
all of that stuff, and man, it was great. So
that's awesome. Well, tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about it, as far as how it came about and what the whole crux of the weekend is.
Okay. Well, the event itself is a training event that we over here at Legally Armed in Detroit, in conjunction with all of our sponsors, supporters, and volunteers, that we conduct every year, in which we give a free range safety briefing and a free shooting lesson to any woman that wants to show up. And, I got a little flack about, women and, how come we don't do it for the guys? And, my typical answer is, depending on where you are, the world can be a very dangerous place. But, in the hierarchy of things, women tend to be more vulnerable. And so that's where I decided to put my focus. The event started as an idea I had roughly 10 and a half, almost 11 years ago, in which I saw a local news broadcast here in Detroit. And on one of the news stories, man, it was a story that really touched me. It was a story about a woman's body that had been discarded in the street as if it was trash, just littered after she had been violated. And, I really thought that someone should do something about that. Yeah. And, it touched me so much that I talked to my buddy, and it's really cool that I get to call him a buddy, because actually, man, I was like the guy who was following him around at conventions and conferences like a lost puppy dog. But my buddy, my mentor, Kim Blanchard, I was following him around, and I got to talking to him about it, and I was telling him about what I wanted to do, man. And, shout out to Ken. He gave me the motivational pep talk that he's good for. And I put together this event, man. And we trained 50 women that first initial year. And we covered everything. And we still cover all expenses to this very day due to generous support of our friends and our sponsors. If a woman is interested in learning how to shoot, define woman however you want. But if you're a woman, come on out to the event. We start at age 12 all the way up to, I believe we've had women as seasoned or as experienced as 80. I didn't say the word old, right? And we give them a range safety briefing. We give them a time to report, and we handle everything. We provide access to a firearm. We have ammunition. We do one-on-one with a firearms trainer after they do their, briefing session. And depending on the level of sponsorship and things that are going on, we usually give something, to them on the way out the door. Depending on what we do this year, that'll be, dependent on support that we get from sponsors who want to contribute and make it a great event. But man, it's the single most thing that I do, in terms of, professionally, that gives me the greatest sense of accomplish and lets me know that I'm making a contribution, to the community at large, man. And before I go today, I know there's some firearms trainers and range safety officers that may be interested in coming out, present company included. Everybody else in the gun rights community was there, man. Everybody was Charlie. But, but man, we have firearms trainers and folks from as far as California all the way to Florida, Texas. And we even had some people over in the out east in the New York area, man. So
very cool.
David
Saunders, I second what David says. He says that's awesome. So I agree. It's pretty cool that you do that. I think you need to franchise it and bring it out to New York. We'd have to give it a different acronym though. We'd have to call it Laney. But I don't know if that sounds. But you know what?
That's a good idea, man, because that actually corresponds to the name of a very significant gun rights advocate that was active in the Detroit area years ago by the name of General Laney. And General was not his title. It was actually his first given name. And he was, shall I say, a very well-known and respected gun rights advocate here in Michigan, and in particular in the Metro Detroit area. So, yeah, I like that acronym.
Look at that.
Very cool. Look at that.
All stars align.
Man.
That's
all right. So here's what happened last year. Rick sets this up. I write it in my calendar. I say I'm going to make it.
Here we go with the excuses.
Rick, no.
You know what? I said to myself, I was going to go easy on you. I wasn't going to roast you before a national audience across all of these multimedia platforms, social media platforms. But hey, I wasn't going to do that. But go ahead, tell on yourself.
So here's what happened. I said I was going to go to this. My daughter needed to go to college the same weekend. So I had to, instead of driving to Detroit, I had to drive down to Nashville to leave my daughter for college. And Rick says things like, college? You're dropping your daughter off to college? He's like, look, I remember when I went to college, I got there, my parents left me, I grabbed a couple of drinks. I'm like, where's the girls? And I'm like, Rick, this is why I'm going to stay for a couple of days.
That's why you're going to stay, and you're going to shepherd and safeguard and chaperone your daughter all that entire weekend. People are like trying to find folks that they mesh with, trying to find an in group, to be on campus with. And there you are on campus, glaring at all the people that are there, telling them to stay away from your friends. Man.
Like, what the heck's wrong with him?
Grow up. She's growing up, Charlie. She's in college.
God. So I had to break this to Rick on an episode of the Polite Society podcast, and he busts my cookies just like you see here on that show. And then so Paul Lathrop says, hey, if somebody's coming from Chicago, how far is it from Chicago to Detroit? Is it like 6 hours? And Rick's like, it's 6 hours if you drive like Charlie. In reality, it's about 4.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
This dude, I cannot catch a break from Rick, man.
So
I cannot catch a break.
Instead of riding shotgun with Charlie, you should have a spin-off show, Driving Miss Charlie.
Driving Miss Charlie. I mean, it would be an actual stagecoach to take 6 hours.
That's a good point.
Do you actually have a working stagecoach now?
With some lame-ass horses.
I have a Dodge Charger.
Ooh, wee.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more horse than that stagecoach.
Exactly.
Dodge Charger.
I honestly, I bought it 2 years ago. I bought it March. I came home with it March 24th, 2020.
It has a birthday. Wow. Acquisition date.
It's
And a name.
And how do you celebrate this acquisition date?
Well, I put more gas in the tank is really what it comes down to.
He fills her up and rubs her down.
Right, exactly. Dude, I put on, in the last 2 years, I put on 83,000 miles, I think, in 2 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, it had 80,000 miles, and it's 164,000 now.
And it's still holding up pretty good.
Still holding up, man. Knock on wood.
Mine. What year is it again?
That's a 2014.
Okay. Yeah. So my 13 CRV, I just broke 200,000 on it going to North Carolina. I drove down there to teach the UTM civilian instructor course on Sunday, and broke 200,000 miles. I just got over the North Carolina border, got to the hotel, woke up the next morning, went out, looked down at I'm like, oh crap. I was hoping to get the momentous occasion, like get it on video or something. We need doing like 1 mile per hour.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Anderson here does not have sound. So
sounds like he needs to work on that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's us, Mr. Anderson. Does anybody else not have sound?
I can hear you two pretty good. And
For sure.
You guys can hear me. So it's not on our end, right?
That is not.
I'm hoping not. So Rick, let us know what people can do to get involved. What website do they go to? How do they, instructors that want to obviously help out, but then also individuals that want to take it that are in that area?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of ways to be a part of the event. And I guess the first way that people can participate, and it's really the engine that drives this program, is that if there are folks out there who are interested in participating in this project, you know, I'm not going to mention a particular individual who didn't come last year. But,
dude, the first year I donated $50 for ammunition. Come on, man.
But if you think that this program is a great event, and I believe that it is one in which that we empower women and we teach them fundamental firearm safety and teach them how to operate a handgun. You know, I would invite you, if you are a credentialed firearms instructor or a credentialed RSO range safety officer, and you'd like to come to Detroit and participate in the program. We always aspire to train a lot of people, and that requires a lot of instructors. We started last year, first time doing it at 2 ranges simultaneously for 2 days, and we're going to follow that model this year. 2 gun ranges simultaneously on those 2 days. We're talking about the Recoil Firearms and Top Gun range, both in Taylor, Michigan, which is right outside of the Detroit city limits. So yeah, first and foremost, if you're a firearms trainer or range safety officer and you'd like to participate, and let me tell you, there's no greater feeling in the world, I believe, that you get as a trainer when you actually take someone in a booth, especially depending on their experience level and comfort level, and you give them something positive in which you've helped to build them up and give them some experience with the gun and personal protection, getting them started on their own personal journey. You know, definitely will welcome you to come on out to the event to help out. And if you're interested in learning how to do that, I set up an event page on Facebook. Yeah, the place that played around with my account access for like a week because they didn't recognize this phone associated with my account. So they had to conduct their investigation to make sure I wasn't a hacker. And yeah, I just got back in after a week. I was hoping I was going to be able to continue and keep this appointment today. But luckily, the gods at Facebook decided to restore my access.
Well, thank God you didn't blow us off like Charlie blew you off.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. The official name of the group for organizers, for volunteers, is the 2022 Organizing Group Ladies Shooting Event. You know, hopefully, you know, you can remember all that, or you can just find me particular on Facebook, Rick Ector, RICKECTOR. I also have an email address, DetroitCCW@gmail.com, phone number. And no, I am not shy. Call me, 313-733-7404.
Beep. Oh shoot, I didn't beep that quick
enough. and don't worry about me wondering if you're a complete stranger, because I just upgraded my cell phone, which created all of this problem that I'm having right now. I have absolutely no contact, so you'll get the same level of priority as I do when Charlie calls, So I'll feel compelled to answer it. And if for some reason the volume of calls prevents me from answering it, feel free to leave a message. I'll definitely get back to you. But yeah. And also, if you are a woman in the Metro Detroit area, even if you want to come from as far as, the west side of the state, Grand Rapids, we even had some people ride up from Ohio, from Toledo, to ride up to be a part of this event. The further you come, I wish I had a special prize for people who came a long distance to attend, but it always means a lot to me when people come a great distance to be a part of the program. But we have people that come every year. We have people that come and take a year or two off, and then when they show up, they tend to bring other people with them. Some of the things I've seen is multi-generational members of families show up, grandma and then, her child and then their child,
That's
it's
awesome.
like, it's just a great thing to see and to behold. And I'll tell you, one of the great things after the event is over, man, I'll tell you, it's like the highlight of the event, for me personally, is when we look at the success, the number of people that we safely train, 0 injuries. And we usually wind the event down officially amongst all of the trainers and range safety officers. We usually have a meal at a decent restaurant. This restaurant probably doesn't have as many stars as the establishments that my friend Charlie attends, but we make do with what we can.
That's all right.
We're not as particular as to who we're going to patronize, man. But great event. I got the dates in there, right? The dates. Well, I'm not even. Just so that you know,
it's the end of July.
The dates for the actual event is the last weekend in July, so it'll be July 30th and the 31st. It'll be at 2 gun ranges, at Recoil Firearms and at the Top Gun Range over in Taylor. How you can register, all of that information will be published in social media. If you find me anywhere on the internet through social media, I'm on Facebook currently because I just got back in, Twitter, Instagram. I even have a YouTube channel. So
call it Fakebook.
So, I'll definitely be keeping everyone involved.
Well, right now I'm scheduled to teach a class down in Hyde Park, New York. Excuse me, that weekend. If that doesn't pan out, then I'll definitely keep that day open to come out and.
Well, what do we have to do for that date not to pan out, man?
Move your date.
Nah, in terms of coordinating this event across 2 different gun ranges,
I can only imagine.
And all the events that are going on this year, like take last year, for example. Last year was a little bit of a down year in terms of attendance. Yeah. But that's because the year prior, because of COVID, we were pretty much the only thing in the whole region that was operating. Yeah. So that contributed to like 2,000 people showing up. And then suddenly last year, everyone decided that they wanted to bring their events and stuff back online. So then we found ourselves the victim of bad planning. And yeah, that falls on me. That was on me. I assumed that the rest of the world wasn't going to come back online last summer, but it did. But
that happens. So you don't have a restriction to how far somebody could come from, right?
No, you come as far as you want. If you come all the way from California or I don't know, wherever, we will train you. We'll have a registration page set up, in a registration group. I'll have that thing set up and I'll point people in that area. The best way people to stay abreast of what I'm doing is find me on social media, Rick Ector. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I even have a YouTube channel. So I'll have motivation to at least put together a few videos and upload them sporadically to keep people updated and informed.
Well, I have to say, Rick, you are the true story.
I'll take that and thank you. Yeah, that's my catchphrase, man.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome. I think
awesome.
I popped on one time on Facebook and made a joke, and you go, "Yeah, I'm about ready to unfriend you," or you said something like that. You said something like, "Try again," and I was like, "I got to think hard about this one." And then I came up with some response. And you go, "All right, that wasn't too bad."
Right. Well, in social media, I had never directly engaged with you before.
Yeah,
People literally popped out of the woodwork, man. And some people are straight arrows, and then some people you're like, I have my finger close to the kill switch, You were straddling that line, man.
I know. I was like, I gotta.
And then you actually said something funny. And if let me tell you, you get the keys to the kingdom if you can make me laugh, man. And you made me laugh. So I was like, cool. Okay. Let me back away from your leg. Keep them around at least for another day or two and see how
right.
This is why it took 3 years to get him on the show.
Yeah, good point. Oh.
All right, so we haven't mentioned it yet, but we've got some people here. We're about 26 minutes into the show. We are doing a giveaway for anyone that tunes in, and they go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway, and our code. We're going to be giving away a Mantis X10. The code for tonight that you have to enter is LAID, and that's for Legally Armed in Detroit. So we're doing this obviously in honor of Rick and Legally Armed in Detroit.
Do you have to look so uncomfortable when you say that?
What, Legally Armed in Detroit?
No, LAID.
Do I have to look this uncomfortable?
It's like this period where you just like this tick. And you freeze up for a second, it's like a repressed childhood or something. I'm not sure what went on there, man. But
I went to my therapist the other day, Rick. I'll talk about it next time, okay? So somebody said that Amy Lucas from Steel and Stilettos would be a great instructor, and she was at this last year, wasn't she?
Yes, and she is a good friend of mine and a fellow firearms trainer in the region, and she has been a part of the program. And glad to have her involved. And for any of her supporters and fans, if you want to see her, I'm sure she's going to be there. I haven't talked to her directly since I, published the group that we have set up for the volunteers. But I'm sure she'll be there. And if you are an instructor, I'll put you into the secret organizing group. Yeah, spy group.
Nice.
Amy hosted me for the pepper spray instructor class up there in Michigan, and that's why I was.
You were supposed to do a special interview that weekend too, weren't you?
Yeah. I actually stopped by and said hi to Dale Brown, and Dale says he's been trying to get you in there for some time to get you on camera or something.
Yeah, I've talked to him, and we've had some conversations, But see, Dale and I go way back, man, and it's like I've known Dale, maybe in excess of 10 years. I mean, I'm not going to say that we're best friends and buddies, but we know each other, and we've been a part of various different programs in the community and did some things together. And I'll tell you, the one thing that I'll tell you, if you meet him, he has a great personality. He'll make you laugh.
Yep.
I'll tell you that. He's funny. He's humorous. He's a humorous guy. But
I got that from him.
Yeah.
All right. So Gun Websites has a question here. It says, Rick has been going to Gun Rights Policy Conference since 2007 that he knows of. So having been tuned into the two-way for this long, what are your thoughts on the current what are your thoughts on the current situation of the two-way activists and our potential going forward?
I like a lot of things I've been seeing in the media, man. And the latest thing that's really on the radar is we have a few more states that have joined the constitutional carry bandwagon. And that, to me, is a great thing to always see. And, some people, they are a little surprised that I take that stance because I'm traditionally, a firearms instructor. And if you're in a state in which you have to receive a permission slip from the local government from your state, then, it's like some people have mixed feelings about it. And I've always stated, even though I'm a firearms instructor in the state that mandates and requires, training for you to get your concealed pistol license or whatever you guys call it in your particular area, I am in full favor of constitutional carry, and as it relates to safety, it's true that people had historically, going back generations, have learned about the safe operation of firearms and fundamental firearm safety. Actually, you learn that stuff in the home, but we've gotten away from that as a society. And there's some people like, well, gee, if we just expect people to be adults, with the firearm, the whole world's going to come to an end. And I don't believe that that's the case. People who are not as comfortable around firearms as they would like to be, I believe that they will go out and seek training, and there will be some firearms trainers who are out there providing that service, and people will definitely do that. One of the things that I've seen as a part of doing the women's event we talked about in the last segment is that many times people run out and buy a gun, and then they're like, okay, what do I do? Thank God they didn't do what I did when I bought a gun, right? I got robbed in my driveway, and I immediately went to a gun shop and bought a gun and shot it, and didn't have the benefit of training. And you know what? Common sense and, checking my ego at the door and asking the staff at that gun range at that time for a few helpful hints, and they gave me the fundamental firearm safety rules and, a few other pointers that I adhered to. And I managed to shoot and discharge my gun a number of times without injuring myself or damaging any property. And, I went out and got training. Of course, I can't say that it's the same thing as if I was a resident in a state that didn't require it. But for the record, I am on the constitutional carry bandwagon. And if that means that there's less of an interest, to whatever degree there's an interest in patronizing a firearms trainer, so be it. Freedom over everything.
For sure. Amen to that.
Amen.
So
absolutely.
So we've had some good signups here. It looks like we're doing pretty good. Only halfway through the show tonight. We've got pushing more than we've had in other shows. Not sure if it's the code where people just like typing in the word "laid" or what. But
is there something? Was that put out there? The acronym put out there? Maybe that spurred some of the interest.
Right.
Yeah. It's
maybe
right
they're
there on the
hoping.
screen.
Oh man, Charlie's really cooking today. You like how I did that?
It's good, man. Maybe people are hoping to get laid and the Mantis X.
Yeah, maybe.
So by the way, so Don Griffin here entered. Didn't he win like the first week? Didn't he win the first?
I don't.
Didn't he win the Mantis X?
I have to look back.
I think he did.
Is there a rule that if you win, you can't win anymore in that calendar year, or can you just keep winning?
All right.
I mean, are you going to punish your loyal fans or what?
You're trying to give me more work. I mean, no.
Oh, let me tell you something about me.
I got to keep track of it.
Why? Let me tell you, I don't ever try to do anything. If I want to get you in trouble, man, trust, I will get you in trouble. But I will never try to get you in trouble.
Gotcha. Check. True story. Yeah, I guess Don didn't win from what he said.
Don did not win. All right.
Oh, look at that. Did you see what Ken said? Thanks, Ken. That's awesome. More people are hearing about your awesome show. He actually took the DSF level 1 instructor course with Clint and I down in Alabama in July.
Oh, very cool. That's great.
Yep.
Oh,
that is great.
It's been a number of years since I've been to Alabama, man. How is it down there?
Oh, it was hot. It was definitely hot. We had some rain to kind of cooled it down a little bit. I didn't realize. See, I lived in Georgia for a few years in the military, and then I moved to North Carolina. I was in Raleigh-Durham area for a couple years, but I didn't realize that there was a gnat line. Like, they're talking gnat line. I'm like, what the hell's a gnat line? And then you go further south in Florida, and then there's like the tropical line. So like if you want to hunt iguanas, which I have got pictures, want to check it out on my Facebook page. You got to go down into like the really, really humid areas. That's where iguanas are.
Okay. See, you got to stop right here. Stop. Bookmark. Right. Put a stop right here.
Copy.
How intense is iguana hunting?
Oh,
and do you actually eat it? See,
you can eat it.
For me, it's an ethical thing. If I'm going to eat it, it's okay for me to kill it.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you eat it?
I didn't. I gave all the iguanas. I harvested 25 of them, and I gave them all to the guy that actually hosted me, that had me go out with him. So the iguana
is there
man.
A guy out there with an iguana coat, or
yeah, well, that's actually funny. I was thinking of doing like a knife sheath or something, an iguana knife sheath, or iguana skin boots instead of snake skin boots. Like
I've never seen. You know what? Here with Detroit, you know what, man? You see all kind of fancy footwear. Snake. Gator. I never seen an iguana set of shoes, man.
It tastes like chicken, I guess. I mean, I was in a I was in a hurry to get out of there because I was going boar hunting, hog hunting a few days later.
Oh man, now that's a real sport right there.
And we did it with a knife too, so it wasn't like we shot
it. Boar hunting with only a knife.
With a knife, yeah. They had bay dogs that bayed up the hog, and then we went over and put it out of its misery with a knife. Up close and personal.
Oof. Man, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was. I'm doing gator hunting in September when I go back down.
The only thing I could think that would be more enjoyable is, like, let's say, theoretically taking my daughter to her first weekend at college.
I knew that was going somewhere.
Right. How do we get rid of Rick? Is it 24 minutes left?
Oh goodness! Oh my! One person did put the code of Blade. I don't know if they just didn't want to put the word laid, or they just heard us and thought we said Blade.
Maybe I'm looking like Wesley Snipes. Maybe they think.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Wesley Snipes, yeah, Blade. So Shamika put Blade. If she wants to comment and tell us
if she wants to re-enter,
I don't know.
Because the word is laid.
It is
Blade.
We're
not going to make any allowances for people who do not follow the official rules as promulgated by Riding Shotgun with Charlie and Meet the Pressers.
Tab actually, I certified Tab as a UTM civilian instructor when I was down there in Florida a month ago or so, and that's actually a good idea. Making a belt out of it.
There you go.
Gator.
If you're going to, I've had snake, which is pretty good. I haven't had iguana, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna go back down.
I would never even entertain the idea unless you told me, "Hey, Rick, let's go hunt some iguanas, man." I'm like, "Well, how do they taste?" And you're like, "I don't know. I just want to kill something." I'm like, man, maybe not."
No, right?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, mercy. So, Amy Lucas is tuned in. Trampus Swanson's tuned in as well.
Shamika's
here.
Thank you, Shamika.
And she joined late. Late. She joined late.
Oh, we can do this. We just can't touch guns. Like if I picked up any of these and stuff, that we get banned. But we can joke all we want about everything else, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Don is having a fun time. He loves the acronym.
Oops. Here we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Yes.
You know what I think is really cool? So Rick's got a great logo. It's got a he's got the Laid logo, and he's got a silhouette of somebody going in wearing a bunch of tactical gear and stuff. And then didn't you change it a couple years ago?
I didn't change it. I added different versions. Oh man. And see, here's the thing. You bring up my logo and my new logos that I've added to, the inventory. And let me guess, you're not going to show it in the background or while we're talking.
All right, let me work.
Oh man, you know what? You're killing me, Charlie. You're killing me.
Come on, look, please. All right, talk with him, would you?
We'll talk with him. So, what's your favorite gun? What's the funnest gun you've ever shot, Rick?
The funnest gun? Oh man, the funnest gun. I wouldn't say most fun, but I came away from shooting the Desert Eagle 50 cal, man. I thought that was a blast, right? Pun intended, man.
That's pretty cool.
The very first time that I shot it, I heard so many stories about other people about it being, so
Rip your arm off.
and it's gonna, you're gonna injure yourself, and and you know what? And true to fold, I actually gripped it with two hands because of all of the stories that I had heard about how powerful it was, man. And it had a little kick to it, but it wasn't anything unsurmountable. It was negotiable. I handled it pretty good, but nice. Man, it's a rush. And it's nothing like having that big giant gun in your hand, and man, you see how big it is, and you're holding it, you take a picture with it, you're like, okay. But see, here's the thing. I would never carry it as a
for sure.
Not me, but there's a few guys out there, man, that do.
Yeah, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Lou Ferrigno. I mean, they, like The Rock or, Hulk Hogan, somebody like, a big beastly guy like them. Yeah, this is my, that one right there.
I don't see it personally. I don't see it as a carry gun, man. For me, it'd be more like a novelty kind of thing. Go to the gun range and show off. And
have you shot one of them yet?
One of what?
See it?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't shot one of those, man. You know what?
4570.
When you come to Detroit,
I'll bring it.
Wait. July 30th through the 31st for the free women's shooting event, when we're going to ambitiously train somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 or so women, or God knows, even more.
I wrote it down. Get late and wait. I gotta change that. My wife sees that. She's gonna wonder what the hell's going on.
It's a late weekend.
Look, this is perfectly innocent. There's this guy, and that's the name of his organization, Wade.
Yeah, I know.
And she's gonna say, "You're gonna have to do better than that. No one would be that crazy to name their organization Wade. Who does that? This guy."
Amy says she can't wait.
Oh yeah. You got a picture. Hey, Amy.
And she said, cool. Such a great experience.
She is really cool instructor. I like having her out to the event, and she's a lot of fun. And the thing about her is that she constantly grills guys who are short, right? Like, I'm 5'9", right? And that's like statistically the average height for guys. And she's like, I don't know, she's like 5'10", 5'11". She might even be 6 foot tall, right? But she constantly roils about short guys and men being so short, and she's so statuesque and everything. But whatever.
Everyone compared to her is short.
Oh, there we go. She told us her height. There she is, 5'11".
5'11". Okay, so I didn't think she was a real 6-footer. I thought she was close, but she's close enough.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not sure how we can get this on here. I have it on the background. I have one of the ladies in the ladies.
Oh yeah, you picked that one, huh? Out of all those pictures that are out there, you picked that one. I wonder why.
It's the first one I could find, Rick. It's the first one I could find, dude.
Right. You went to Google and you said "laid" in the graphics tab, and this is what you got.
Here we go. I got another one. This is the first
one.
No,
there's nothing wrong with that one. You don't like that one?
Oh my God, you're busted. It doesn't, this is like my deal with my ex-wife. Like, nothing I can do is right.
By the way, Trampus says he's touching his guns.
Oh,
while watching.
Chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow. All right, here we go. We got another one coming in here, and we can't see it because of we're let's see. Can we? How can we get a smaller background?
Oh man, training. This is on-the-job training for real. You're trusting Charlie with free access to all the buttons, man.
On-the-job
steal our hearts.
Oh my God, you guys
just change the logo out. Just change the logo from the Meet the Pressers.
Oh, there we go. Change the logo.
So,
see,
Dave Saunders is a student and a friend of mine, and he said the last time he was here at my house in one of the classes, one of the students was saying that he wanted to get a Smith & Wesson 50 cal. Carry that around. Yeah. I carried a 45 around on duty and off duty for many years. And then I just said, you know what? 45s, there'd been times they've taken it off and put it in the safe because it was digging into my hip. And now 9mm. I'm getting old.
So where exactly physically do you carry? Like 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. See, you're a man of my heart. I'm an appendix carry too. That's how I carry my gun.
Well, I'll tell you this.
It was like for years and years when I was doing it, you know, from when I first started carrying guns like 15 years ago, man. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, my God, you're going to shoot yourself. And, you know, you're going to shoot, you know, a very sensitive area. You're crazy. Who does
I don't need
that?
any more kids.
Now, after all these years, man, now
a lot of people are.
It's the hotness and it's like popular. There's this woman, competitive shooter. She's like making the rounds on social media, and she has this picture that she did a couple of days ago where she's carrying appendix carry, and everybody's like, "Oh man, that is so cool!" And I'm thinking to myself, "Man, I remember when appendix carry wasn't cool, and I did it anyway."
Yeah,
but you know what? You have to have the right physique to carry it off. You can't, you know, be, you know.
Well, and you have to practice too. It's a different type of draw. There you
Here
go.
we
There
go.
is the shirt.
That's one of the 2 latest designs that
cool.
You know has a woman, you know, in the silhouette, and I think it's cool.
Very cool. Thank you, G-Webs, for that tip.
For sure. And
that was he's a
David says Walther PPS. Yes, David, it is a Walther PPS, and it is an M2 Model 2. All right, so you're carrying appendix as well. What's your choice of gun for carry there, Rick? What do you like to carry in your appendix?
Man, you know what? I'm, you know, nothing fancy. And here's the thing: a lot of people, you know, dabble in a lot of different guns, man. But you know, and some people don't like this particular gun and gun company, and they say the gun, they don't like the way it fits in their hand and all this other stuff. But man, Glock 17, man, what's wrong? Glock 17,
nice. Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 Glock 17s. That's what I use in my UTM course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm actually contemplating switching over to back to a 17 for my duty weapon. Or I should say to a 17 for my duty weapon and 19 for off duty. And I just love the Walther grip and the trigger. They're just amazing. But, you know, with doing these UTM courses all over the country and using those guns in the classes, I really am thinking of switching to the 17 so that I keep it consistent. You know, then I'll have even more practice with what I would carry. Just makes sense.
Yeah, man, you should do a UTM class in the Metro Detroit area on like the 29th of July or like August 1st on that Monday.
The day before or the day after. We might be able to arrange that if this one here doesn't pan out, which it might not.
You're putting me in the unenviable position of hoping that you're not successful, man. And I resent you for making me have to exercise that option, man. Now I'm hoping that you're not successful so you can come hang out with us, man, and bring, you know, meet the pressers and that other guy from, you know, riding shotgun with Charlie with you.
Busting my cookies, man.
You guys choo-choo train. And then Ken says he carries a 19.
You guys are beating me like Chris Rock.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So let's talk.
Too soon?
No, not at all.
Is it too soon?
What do you think? What do you think, Rick? Do you think it was staged? Do you think it was real? Do you think that? What are your thoughts on the thing? Because there's so many freaking directions this has gone just in the past day.
Do I think it was staged? There's a possibility that it was. I mean, for one, you know, he didn't press charges, right?
Yep.
He pressed charges over a stunt.
Right.
But then that sets us down another path for another conversation in terms of, you know, how did he handle it? You know, and he handled it professionally.
It looked pretty tense.
You know, so I mean, there's a lot of different topics on this one, man. But
for sure,
I don't know. I don't know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it actually happened. Yeah, it was a real thing, and
it did look authentic as far as their emotions. And then my wife reminded me that they are actors, so I was like, "That's a good point." You know,
and so
pretty good actors.
And then when he did his acceptance speech, right, you're like, okay, yeah, he hit all the right tones on everything but an actual apology in that moment. But then he's an actor, so you really don't get credit for it. And so here's the thing. It's like I've been a part of a lot of different shows and stuff, man. And like one of the things that I see that when they list you in the credits, you know, depending on what show it is, they make a distinction between you actually acting or, you know, what you are professionally. So if you appear in something and you're a firearms instructor, well, that's not acting because that's what you are. So you don't get credit for it. So, yeah, I get it.
So did you look at the credits for the Oscars and see what they listed them as? Comedian or actor? I don't know.
Right.
You know, he did win a was it best actor? I mean,
well, and that was my other thought. Like if that happened, which I don't know either way, I could give two shits, but they're getting their publicity. If it was staged, they're getting exactly what they wanted. Us talking about it. But I mean, it's like, okay, if it happened, why would they even let him go on? Why wouldn't they have escorted him out of there? I mean, you can't go up and assault somebody just like that on a national stage, you know? I mean, imagine if somebody went up and smacked the president of the United States like that because he's a dipshit or a pedophile. I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to get probably shot by the Secret Service.
You know, I don't know, man. You know, and that puts the organizers in a very precarious spot, right? So you have your guy who's going to win. They know who won, right? He's going to be, you know, he's going to win, you know, best actor, right? And he, you know, pretty much socks a guy, you know. Well, he didn't sock him. He slapped him. See, there I go exaggerating, right? He slapped him, you know. And do you then still give him the award after he just
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, do you just say, hey, we were going to give it to you, but in light of your actions, we're not. We're going to think about it for, I don't know, a month or two and figure out if we're really going to give it to you. But yeah, you did win, but not really. So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought the smack was too. David makes a good point. I thought it was kind of like, it just looked really, I don't know, like, like weird. Like you're playing tennis and you suck at it. You know?
Right. Well, let's face it. I mean, when he acted as Ali, he knew where all the punches were going.
Right. I mean, it's not like he's never gotten in a fight before. I mean, you know, when he was the Fresh Prince, I mean, that's why he got kicked out of Philadelphia. He got sent to live with his mommy and or his auntie sent him to his whatever.
Right.
You know, I've seen Chris Rock in a couple of films, and he never struck me as a good actor, right? New Jack City, where he played, what's the character name? Pookie? You know, he played that crackhead pretty good, man. I'm sorry, crack addict. He played the crack addict pretty good. You guys didn't believe that, so it's your fault.
Was he acting?
Huh?
You're the one with two phones.
Was he acting?
When only one of them works. But, you
know. All right. So G Web says, if you wanted to replace a famous meme, which one would you pick, and how would you create the new meme, and when do you do it? Good question. So I've seen some people say he smacked like a girl, but when you watch a pitcher pitching, their arm comes back that way as well. You know what I mean? Like the elbow comes first, and then the top of the arm, goes like, yeah, exactly. So I don't think that's it was just bad timing, I think, for the for that picture, for that moment. I thought it was kind of interesting because at the end, you see Will Smith turn away, and he's got a smile on his face, and you see what's his name? Chris Rock is kind of looking over somewhere at approval. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Maybe it was staged.
Yeah, my wife sent me a photo of like him leaning into it and kind of bracing himself for the hit. I was like,
this is completely ridiculous. I watched the video a couple times. Chris Rock's left side of his face doesn't really move. It looked like he maybe was shot with some Novocaine. And right, because if he knows he's getting smacked,
I haven't heard that one yet.
This is the kind of stuff you get from Meet the Pressers and Writing Shotgun with Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this I noticed that. I'm like, his left side of his mouth isn't moving.
Yeah. Now somebody's going to say
So
he was.
you know what? So
he was
then the
iRobot. He was a robot from iRobot.
So then the organizers, if this really was a ruse and a scam, then they really got what they wanted in the aftermath.
Oh, for sure. Oh, 1,000.
Because I think the only what was before this event? What was the big thing? Was it the Janet Jackson nipple thing at the Super Bowl? Was that
one? I remember that.
Was that the biggest thing since then? Yeah.
You know, it's funny when I do the UTM course, in the screen I say, you take a knee if you're shot, or if you have a wardrobe malfunction, Janet, please, then take a knee as well, because you might get shot again anyway.
So is this now the biggest thing in like TV ever? And we only have to grimace and wait until the next big thing
comes along, right? I don't know, man. I think it's a little. I think the whole thing is a little bit ridiculous. I
1000% agree with that.
My deal is this: I had this is how clueless I am, right? And Rick's gonna love this. I didn't know that that Jada Smith had this illness, skin condition. I had no idea she shaved her head. I had no idea G.I. Jane 2 was not a thing either. I'm like, oh, I don't get what the joke is, right? I don't get what the joke is. I didn't get that she has some health issues and had to shave her head. I didn't get any of that. So I'm like, this is all really stupid. Why would Will Smith go up and smack him in the face?
Wow, we got carried away. That was pretty good. I just looked at the time. I'm like, holy cow, it's 4 minutes too.
Oh man, we allocated too much time to that. Huh?
No, hey, it was good. It was good stuff, right? I wanted your opinion. All right, I've turned off the contest. Nobody can enter anymore. I'm going to download it. And I'm going to pull up the list.
Oh man!
All right.
They never did anything this fancy on riding shotgun with Charlie.
You're right. Driving in traffic and not getting into an accident is not enough.
Speaking of accidents,
looks like he has a dedicated app to run this, man.
He does. He's got it all down, man.
Speaking of accidents, I got diverted yesterday with that 81 accident in Pennsylvania on my way back from North Carolina. It's like a 50 or 60 car pileup.
Wow.
Yeah, like four or five people passed away. Pretty sad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really bad. Snow squalls.
Wow.
All right, Tab says pick her. Pick me.
I think it's a guy.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't look.
I thought it was short for Tabitha. I apologize.
I know two Tabs, but I'm thinking it's I think it's a guy from Florida. If it's the right Tab. Because there's Tab up in Georgia, northern Georgia, and then there's Tab down in Florida.
Gotcha. All right, so David here says the last one was when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift, and that was pretty controversial.
Yeah, but I mean, there was no, I don't know. It was controversial, yeah, but I think that's tame, relatively speaking.
I don't know. It was Tab in Florida. So there we go.
You're just making friends all tonight, Charlie.
I know, right?
All right.
The guest hates me. The people hate me.
What is up, man? We got people registering twice. Gary, you registered twice, and you used two different email addresses. I think I might just negate him from the whole contest.
Ooh. I mean, if he was really trying to stuff the box, he was kind of considering all the options for free email addresses, he really could have went to town, but he only did it
true.
twice.
That's a good point.
Right. Gun websites want to know if I'm a biologist. Yeah, no. Obviously not.
Well, we know Rick's a bodyologist with the.
Ooh.
Chicken. All right. 1 through 20, Rick. Give me a number. Pick one.
And this is the number that neither of you gave to me before the show, right?
Correct.
This is not a number. We didn't know how many people were going to enter.
We got less than a minute. Give me
how do I enter?
The number is 6.
John Anderson.
Oh,
John
right.
Anderson is the winner.
John Anderson from Sandhills Media.
Yep.
Good for him.
You see, I bet when he got the number, do the contestants know what their number was?
No. No. So what I do is they'll enter it on a form on the Meet the Pressers website, and that'll drop into a database. I'll export it into Excel, and then I'll basically sort it by last name. So even then, it's randomized based on all the people that registered, and then I just figure out how many people actually registered. Tell you 1 to 20, you pick it. I go back, and whoever's that number on the spreadsheet is the winner.
So. Man, you just took, I think, a simple process and made it really complicated, man. Wow.
Well, we don't want to be accused of
See, my buddy Charlie Cook would have just wrote numbers on like little bits of paper and just shook them up in a cup or something.
Now, we tried that the first show, and that was very confusing.
It was
a lot to keep up with.
It was a mess. Yeah.
It was a mess.
It was a big
mess. Technology is a beautiful thing, but our ease of access to it, just gives the whole idea that we really need to like make everything so complicated. I mean,
that is true. Yeah. Well, Rick, it has been awesome, man. This has been fun. You definitely.
Well, look, man, I'm glad that I finally, after all these years, I made it to Meet the Pressers, and it's always a good chance to see my buddy Charlie. But I am going to plug my women's free shooting event again. Right now, I am looking for interested firearms instructors and range safety officers who want to come to Detroit during the last weekend in July on the 30th and the 31st to provide free range safety briefings and shooting lessons for women. It's a great event, and we're going to change some lives and empower a lot of people. And plus, too, I think one of the things that I really come to appreciate from the event, you get to meet a lot of really cool instructors from all over the country, man. And we have a really good time. And we're going to have fun.
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
Detroit CCW on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Rick Ector, yes.
We'll have to get together for coffee or something when I'm up there. I'll be up there. Supposed to be up there in April.
No, you're supposed to be up there on the last weekend of July, man.
Touche.
The 30th and the 31st.
True story.
This is going to stick eventually.
Yes,
and you put me in the unenviable position of hoping that other thing falls through. And I really hate wishing bad luck on people, but in this case, I want you to be bringing Meet the Pressers to the women's free shooting event.
You know, he doesn't have a problem wishing it on me, but you.
Well, I mean, man, you and I go back a long time, man. And you bring some of this stuff on yourself. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds here.
I love this, man. I love this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So we were at the Florida Carry event a year ago. Paul Lathrop was doing a live video, and everybody was just going in and sitting down and having a talk with Paul, and they were lining people up, and everybody got to talk for 2 or 3 minutes. I went on after Rick, and as Rick was sitting down, I went over and gave him a big fat kiss on the cheek. And I wish I had a clear picture of that. Otherwise, I would have put that in the video to promote tonight.
Yeah, that would have been quite the show, man. Quite the shot. But hey, man, look.
Now, to come full circle, as I'm wrapping up my interview with Paul, Gina Roberts comes over and gives me a kiss on the cheek.
Aww.
Aww.
I love that.
You know what? She was supposed to come to. I shouldn't say was supposed to come. She had mentioned that she was going to make an effort to be there, and that would have been so cool. So I'm going to put her on the spot and say, hey, it's this year, the last weekend, the 30th. And the 31st of July, be there or be square. Is she watching in in real time right now?
Haven't seen her.
Look like it. Okay. She hasn't chimed in.
Someone will let her know that we were talking about it. I'm sure her ears are going to be buzzing.
Well, it looks like we got a lot of instructors that are looking to come to Detroit. My whole crew from down there in Florida that I certified in UTM back in December.
Nice.
So, yeah.
See, it's going to be
they're going to come on up.
That's what it looks like. They're basically going back and forth, trying to convince each other. They might do it.
Look, I'm telling you, it is great. It's a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, there are so many positive stories that just come out of the event. And I'll tell you, it's really cool to be able to go to various conferences and actually know people that you work with beforehand.
For sure.
And now you guys going to the upcoming convention, NRA?
Which one?
The NRA down in Houston. I am. I'm probably going to be helping Amanda Suffolk MC the concealed carry fashion show on Saturday night.
Okay. You said probably. What was you like?
Well,
unsure or what?
Well, I've done.
Oh wait, she hasn't asked you yet.
Look, so here's
you're gonna weasel yourself onto the agenda.
Would you listen to me for a second?
You said that 3-letter word. You said try.
Gentlemen, do I need to get my taser off the wall up there?
I think if you tase us, I think we all get shocked if we're tuned in. Like the electricity comes through the
monitor.
Yeah, no, I've done a number of the fashion shows with Amanda in Phoenix and Dallas and Chicago and in Pennsylvania and in Florida and Cleveland, and I have complete faith in Amanda, and I say whatever you need me to do, I will do. So you tell me where.
So you haven't been officially asked yet for this event. Okay, I get it.
Not officially asked, but she knows that I'm.
Think because of the history that you have with doing this event that you're somehow going to be asked. We've haven't been asked yet.
We've done 8 other ones together, so I think there's a good chance.
Okay.
And if she doesn't, she doesn't have me MC, I'm certainly more than willing to be a model. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
So, are you coming to the NRA meetings?
I am not.
No.
I double booked. I booked a class up in Michigan. No, Chicago. I'm teaching a class up in Chicago. And and then when I found out when it was, I was like, oh, and USCCA changed theirs. It's supposed to be I thought it was supposed to be in October, but they moved it to November. So
yeah, I see a pattern here. You're going to double book for the last weekend in July. You're not going to give that other event the attention that it deserves, and you're going to default to the Legally Armed in Detroit free women's shooting event in Metro Detroit over in Taylor on July 30th and 31st, man. You know what? I look forward to actually meeting you in person, sir.
Yeah, that will be fun.
That weekend.
So, Amy, when is your concealed carry fashion show? You gotta tell us. Are you doing one in Michigan? And if Amy's doing one, is Rick going to be modeling or is he going to be emceed? Because I assume you haven't asked him.
Touche.
Otherwise, Rick would know about it.
Why is he worried about what I may or may not be doing and whether I've been asked or not? I mean, there's just such a level of interest, man. Some of it is flattering, and on the other hand, it's kind of chilling, man.
Creepy.
I mean,
Please. All in good fun. I'm planning it. I want you and Amanda. Oh, here we go. What am I doing? So she's planning it, and she wants Amanda and I to be part of it. All right. Well,
very cool.
As long as it's not the last weekend of July, we should be good to
go. So wait. Shall I construe that as a firm, hard commitment that you're going to be there?
So I found out about it.
Wait. See, he didn't give me a yes or a no. He starts out with so, comma, and about to start relating a story instead of answering the question. But no, go ahead. Tell the story and then give me your one-word answer. Go ahead.
I found out about it today, and I got to work on it.
And you got to work on it.
It looks like you're going to model.
I have to work on it. Doesn't sound like yes to me.
Oh my God! My
Do you have another daughter going off to college?
Rick, you're going to model
them out like 2 years
that I know of.
Apart?
Not that I know of. No,
Amy's going to have you model.
There we go. Thank you, Amy.
Well, Rick, she said Rick will model, not you.
No, thank you for changing the topic.
Oh.
Look, I still haven't forgotten, so that's not a firm commitment, is it?
I'll tell you when this all.
On that note,
then he starts off with
I'll tell you where this all started. I was coming out to do the fashion show with Amanda in Cleveland, and I'm like, "Hey, Rick, I want to have you on the show," and you didn't reply to me. And I sent you a message. I said, "Hey, I called you. I got nothing. These little health issues. Blah. You're fine now, aren't you?"
You mean that stroke? Is
yeah,
that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a little health issue. Yeah,
you know that right there, Charlie.
It's like dealing with the stroke or being stroked out, being on the riding shotgun with Charlie. So
yeah, that would have been bad.
See, Charlie, that joke right there was just as bad as Chris Rock's joke.
Oh, okay.
But then no one expected Chris Rock to be that tasteless, though. So, you know.
Really? 30 years he's been doing comedy like this? You don't expect him to be tasteless?
Well, I read something too that usually the people right in the front row get roasted. Like it's commonplace. I don't watch that.
Oh my God.
I don't watch the crap. I don't know. I didn't even know he was the host. I'm thinking like, well,
I didn't even know the show was on that night.
Yeah, me either. It's like
exactly.
My wife said, "Did you hear what happened?" And I'm like, "What?" But they got what they got.
Right. G Webs wants to help promote Amy's concealed carry fashion show. All right, it sounds like she needs to get it going, and we can make it all happen.
Super.
Oh,
all
so
right.
you
Would you stop?
Make it happen. All right. Closing words, Rick. What do you got for us? You want to promote it again?
It's always a pleasure to see my buddy riding shotgun with Charlie and Matt. It's great to finally be on with you as well. Look forward to seeing you both in Detroit, July 30th and the 31st for the free women's shooting event. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to empower a lot of women, and we're going to meet up and network with a lot of our fellow firearms trainers from all across the country.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, listen, we want to thank you guys all for tuning in and watching this, whether you watched it on the Facebook or you watched it on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to either of our shows, Meet the Pressers or Writing Shotgun with Charlie, and if you haven't followed us on YouTube, followed us on Facebook, sorry. If you haven't done that, you need to. Please check out Rick Ector, Legally Armed in Detroit, the LAID website, or Detroit CCW, right?
The website is www.detroitccw.com, or you can go to legallyarmedindetroit.com for instructors. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter to sign up for the volunteers group to train, give or take, 2,000 women in a weekend.
Love it.
All right. That's going to be awesome. Again, we thank you guys for tuning in. Rick, it's always a pleasure. Matt, can't wait to do it next week. Next Tuesday, we have Kevin Dixie on, the infamous KD from No Other Choice. That's it. He's going to be on with us next Tuesday. So please make sure you tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern here on on YouTube with Writing Shotgun with Charlie with Meet the Pressers. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.